You ever feel like you're just stuck? Stuck at work, just waiting for that next assignment to drop into your inbox? Well, what if you could completely flip that script? Today, we're going to break down a really powerful playbook from a top executive. It shows you exactly how to stop being a passive employee and start acting like a proactive founder right inside your own company. And trust me, this shift can unlock some incredible growth, not just for the company, but for you. So let's start with a really fundamental question. I want you to take a second and really ask yourself this. At work, are you an employee or are you truly in business? Seriously, the way you answer that one question can change absolutely everything about your career. And here's what that looks like in the real world. Over on the left, you've got the employee mindset. It's kind of passive, right? Just waiting for the next test to land. It's safe, sure. It's predictable. But then look to the right. That's the founder. They're not waiting around. They're out there hunting for problems to solve, creating their own opportunities. And that, right there, is the huge shift we're diving into today. Moving from just having a desk to building a rocket ship. But before we can get to the solution, we've got to understand the problem. And it's a big one. We're calling it the employee mentality trap. Now, it might feel comfortable, maybe even safe, but it's usually the place where innovation and personal drive just fade away. And this is what that trap looks like. It's so easy to fall into this rhythm, isn't it? Just going through the motions. You start relying on people to tell you what to do, you stop questioning things, and slowly, you lose that creative spark. You're just waiting for the next email, the next meeting invite, the next task to keep you busy. That's the trap. So how do you get out of it? Well, it all starts with a really powerful mental switch. It's time to stop thinking like an employee and really start thinking like a founder. And this right here is the core idea from the executive who inspired this whole playbook. He wasn't just some manager inside a huge corporation. He saw himself as being in business every single day. For him, it wasn't just a job. It was his personal venture. So what does that actually mean for you? It means you start seeing your colleagues, your bosses, even other departments as your customers. You realize there are always problems inside the company, just waiting for a solution. A solution you can provide. And every single project becomes another chance to build your personal brand, your reputation. You're basically running a business of one. All right, so you've got the mindset dialed in. Now comes the fun part, taking action. The very first rule in this entrepreneurial playbook is you have to make your ideas real. It's all about showing, not just telling. We've all been there, right? The endless cycle of PowerPoint decks. You're in meeting after meeting, presenting these abstract ideas, but there's nothing real to show for it. This old way, it's slow, it's pretty ineffective, and let's be honest, it rarely gets anyone excited enough to make a real change. But the founder's way is the MVP method. That stands for Minimum Viable Product. It's super simple and incredibly powerful. Step 1, you find a real nagging problem. Step 2, you build a simple, tangible solution. It doesn't have to be perfect, just a prototype. And step 3, you demonstrate it. You let people actually see it, touch it, and get its value in just a few seconds. And this quote just nails it. Instead of just talking about ideas, this executive and his team built them. They let their internal clients literally test drive the products. See, this is how you take an idea off of a slide and put it into someone's hands. And that's how you win support. Okay, so you start building things, but as soon as you do, you're going to hit the next big challenge, skepticism. But a true founder knows the secret to turning those skeptics, even the haters, into your biggest cheerleaders. Let's be real. Every organization has them. The second you propose something new, the skeptics and the haters kind of come out of the woodwork. It's a universal challenge, for sure, but there's a really smart strategy to overcome it. Now, here's the brilliant part. The strategy isn't to argue with them or try to convince them with facts. It's to build shared ownership. You empower the people around you. So instead of you demoing that new prototype, you let a skeptical team member do it. You give them the spotlight. The moment it stops being your project and starts feeling like our project, the whole dynamic just shifts. And the result of that? It's incredibly powerful. Those same skeptics, once they feel that sense of ownership, that sense of pride, they transform. They become your most vocal advocates, your strongest allies. You're no longer just one person pushing an idea. You're building a movement from the ground up. All right, now for the final boss fight, company culture. You can have a great idea, you can have a great team, but if you can't figure out how to navigate the company's culture, you're going to hit a wall. The most common way people fail here is what's called the ivory tower approach. You know the drill. Leaders way up high push these big, sweeping changes from the top down and just expect everyone on the ground to get in line. But that command and control style almost never works because it totally ignores the day-to-day reality of the people who actually have to do the work. So here's the secret weapon, a tactic this executive called breadcrumbing. Instead of forcing some giant change, you introduce small, digestible solutions to real problems. You leave this trail of little wins, and you let the organization connect the dots and come to its own conclusions. It's a gradual, organic, almost invisible way to shift an entire culture from the inside out. So let's bring this all together. The single most important thing to take away from all of this is a simple but really profound truth. No matter your job title, you are always in business. So here it is, the whole playbook in one spot. Act like an owner. Proactively hunt for problems. Show, don't just tell, using MVPs. Build shared ownership to turn skeptics into allies. And use those small, gradual wins, those breadcrumbs, to shift the entire culture. This is the path to driving real, lasting transformation. Which leaves us with one last important question. And this one isn't for me to answer, it's for you. Embracing this whole mindset, it just starts with one small step. So think about your day tomorrow. What problem, big or small, are you going to choose to own?